you have been involved in some tremendous moments in the history of the Denver Broncos, Mark. But watching that fourth quarter comeback on the New York Giants and what happened there in Denver in front of the Broncos faithful is something I've never seen before. And as a matter of fact, NFL teams had won 1,608 consecutive games on leading by 18 or more points with less than 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, as the Giants did. And now those teams are now 0 for their last one. What was that like for a multiple Super Bowl winner for the Denver Broncos to watch that game, Mark?
It was incredible because as great as that fourth quarter was, it was equally that bad in the first three quarters. They were pathetic. I mean, they did nothing well, from incomplete passes that were errant throws to lack of blocking on the perimeter, running bubble screens where tight ends and wide receivers are just basically saying, I choose not to block today. And like those things frustrate the heck out of me. So consistent mistakes. The first three plays of the game, play number one for the Broncos, overthrow. Play number two for the Broncos, drop pass. Play number three for the Broncos, missed block at left tackle, forces Bo out of the pocket, and they end up going 3 and out. And that's how the entirety of the first three quarters of the game went. So to all of a sudden be able to execute, for all of a sudden to make the plays that you haven't made the entirety of the game, and for you to hang in there and not just hang your hat and say, hey, man, today wasn't our day. We came back from London. We were exhausted. Whatever the excuse is, whatever the reason is, whatever you want to call it, to be able to come back and win that football game. And my flight was delayed, so I was sitting in New York watching that game play out. And, you know, I'm just surrounded by Giant fans.
Oh, boy.
And to watch that thing go down and to watch the utter disgust that they have while I was just a little guy in the corner with this joyous look on my face, it was incredible, Rich.
Why joy? Joy, it's because of the Broncos thing, right? Not the New York thing, right, Mark?
Right. And you know one thing about me. I'm a very, very gracious loser, but I'm an absolute dick when it comes to winning.
I'm picking that up about Mark.
You know that I was rubbing it in a little bit.
Yeah, I couldn't tell from that video you sent to Jets fans a few years ago on the old socials, putting your Super Bowl ring on your middle finger, Mark. I couldn't tell all that years ago. But really, that was just a joyous occasion for Broncos fans. That was. I've spoken to multiple Broncos fans since then who still can't believe it. And obviously, they're in the mix right now, brother. I mean, especially since one of their losses was to the 6-1 Colts, the clear best team right now in the AFC. Right? Colts are, or your favorites in the Kansas City Chiefs are now finally congealing, sir. What do you think here?
I would probably go Kansas City at this point, just because of the history they have, because of the quarterback they have. One thing about the Colts, though, and this is something that to me always resonates, you know, in this fantasy football world that we live in, where it's all about wide receivers, all about tight ends, all about, you know, our quote unquote skill position players. The Indianapolis Colts just absolutely dominate the line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively. And they're going to be in every game when they do that. I think Shane Steichen is vastly underrated. I think he does a really good job of making things pretty simple for his quarterback. And they're a damn good football team in Indianapolis right now. And I'm telling you, they are. I go back to the Broncos game that they won listen, it never comes down to one play, but the leverage call was ridiculous anyhow, but that's NFL officiating. So, don't put yourself in that position on a 60-plus yard field goal. But the bottom line, they're a damn good football team. And it is, for me to watch Daniel Jones all those years struggle in New York and really not play not play maybe up to the standard or not have the success that you were hoping that he would have, to watch him come into a situation, to go in and compete, to win that job and then to be lights out over the course of the first 7 games of the season. It's just an amazing story. We probably don't talk enough about, Rich, to watch it. And we've seen some reclamation projects, right? Guys that just failed in other places, whether it's Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones. It's really cool to see these guys get a second opportunity, get coached up to figure it out and go out and have great success.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.